Hi, good afternoon. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews, and I am your literary ambassador. And today I have the pleasure of having Arnaldo, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, Lopez on my channel. He's an author, and I'm going to let him pronounce his name correctly and tell us about you.
Well, my name is Arnaldo Lopez, and I'm a lifelong New Yorker and an author.
Okay. For the readers who never heard of you, what is your genre?
My genre is crime thrillers.
Okay. Tell us about your books.
Well, my book is titled ChickenHawk, and the reason for the title is because back in the day, the cops used to call men who preyed on young boys or young men. They used to call them chicken hawks.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And so that's how I got the title for my book. And the the way I got the idea for the book was that I was working nights as a token booth clerk for New York City Transit, and I used to see these young men and young boys at all hours of the night, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, running back and forth. And one day I asked them what they were doing, and they told me that they were all male prostitutes. Some of them were as young as 12 years old, and that they were running from the cops.
Oh,
That's how I got the idea for my book. I figured there's a story in there somewhere, and that's what my book is about.
oh, okay, okay. How long have you been an author?
Since 2015.
Okay. How do you get your books published? Are you a self, traditional?
Well, right now I'm self-published. Yep, I got my first novel published by Kohler Books.
Where is that located?
You know what? I have no idea.
Okay, okay, okay. What is your work schedule like when you're writing?
That's an excellent question. My work schedule takes me, let's say, well, I'm not a morning person, so mornings are out. But I usually start writing uh, maybe about noon, 1 p.m. And my favorite place to write, depending actually, I have a computer in my porch, and that's where I do most of my writing.
Oh, okay, okay. How many books have you written?
Well, this is actually my second book, but it's my first book being published.
Okay. And which one is your favorite?
This one.
Okay. How many drafts did your book generally go through before publication?
Wow. And that's another good question. I'd say that I went through at least 5 drafts before it was ready for publication.
Oh, wow.
Well, the original book was over 102,000 words.
Okay.
Right. So I had to cut it down to a more manageable 80-something thousand words.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What inspires you to be an author? What inspired you to be an author?
Well, I love reading. I love reading. And reading other people's books and enjoying them. And, that was a world I wanted to be a part of. And that's what inspired me to write.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What does your family think of your writing?
Well, they see it more as a hobby than a vocation. I I see it more seriously, but
Yeah.
they like I said, they see it more as a hobby, something for me to do to keep busy.
Okay. What do you think makes a good story?
Well, well, there are three things that I think make a good story. First and foremost, the characters. The characters have to be believable. They have to move the story along, and they have to participate in the story. The next thing, of course, is conflict. There has to be something going on where the characters in the book have to overcome something or change something, even if it's something personal within themselves. There has to be some sort of conflict that they have to be involved in. And finally, um, it has to be, how can I put this? Has to be where the reader can become engaged in the story. You can
Mm-hmm.
write a story, but if the reader doesn't see him or herself um, as part of what's going on, taking part in what's happening, or if they don't feel invested in the story, then the story doesn't work.
Okay. Okay. As a child, what did you want to do when you grew up?
Wow. Okay. Nobody's ever asked me that before. As a child, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I loved animals. I um, I was interested kind of in the medical field, but my
Mhm.
love for animals made me want to be a veterinarian when I grew up.
Oh, interesting. What has influenced you the most as an author?
Well, I think what's influenced me the most as an author are other people's books. Like I said, I love reading, and when I come upon a great story, a great book, I can't put it down, and next thing I know, I'm fully engaged, and I want to create that kind of experience for my readers.
Okay. What has influenced you the most as an author?
Life. I can honestly say that um, usually when you walk up your door, life is going by at 100 miles an hour, and but as an author, you should be influenced by what's going on around you.
Mhm.
Um, Everything's a story. Everybody has a story. Um, you know, as an author, you should be able to walk around or drive or take the subway or whatever it is and see the story where the average person doesn't. And that's what influences me the most as an author: stories, other people's lives, and what's going on around me.
Mhm. Mhm. What is your greatest accomplishment thus far as being an author?
Well, my greatest accomplishment so far as being an author is actually my novel, ChickenHawk. It's doing pretty well, and I'm very proud of it.
What is your favorite time of day to write? Thank you, told
Well,
that.
I did, and my favorite time to write, late afternoon to evenings.
Evenings, yeah. So, what is your favorite book of all time?
Wow. Okay, that is a heavy question. My favorite book of all time has to be The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yep,
So,
that's my favorite book of all time.
okay, what do you have planned for the next couple of months? For the rest of the year, do you have anything planned this year?
Oh yes, oh yes. I'm hot and
Elaborate.
heavy.
Tell us where you're going to be. Any events?
Well, no events. Okay. I
Okay.
used to go to events before with my novel,
Hmm.
but I decided to take a break from events for like 2 years so I can get busy on my other writing.
Hmm.
And right now, I'm working on a short story that I'm putting a lot of effort into. But right after that, I'm working on a children's book. Actually, I'll be working on two children's books, and then after that, I'll be writing a sequel to ChickenHawk.
Okay. And do you have, I guess how you would call it, what are the topics for your the two children's books? Or do you have what it's about?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first book is actually titled "Big Hearts, Big Day," and it's about well, a big heart that goes around rounding up all his friends and telling them it's today's going to be a big day. And at the end of the book, when they ask him, what's so big about it, he's going to tell them, well, it's Love Day, and that's the way the book ends.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And my second children's book was actually inspired by my oldest daughter. Um, One day I went to visit her, and she had her hair up in two buns, and I told her she looked like a brown panda. And so and so that inspired me to write my second children's book, which is going to be titled Brown Panda.
Oh, okay. Why I asked, I love children's books. You see my 8-year-old, and he's trying to dab into the writing thing.
Oh,
And
very good.
his, like he'll write part of it, and his friends would be the illustrator. And
Oh,
he, you should see his room, but he got, I done bought him like binders and,
hmm,
but he'll still take that notebook paper, fold it in half, and staple it
wow.
right his book like that. And I'd be like, so I got tons of his papers that he done took notebook papers, stapled them together, and we almost have a trash bag full
Wow.
these books. I mean, some of them he's not finished with, and some he has drew pictures in himself. And I kept asking, I said, why you ain't color them? He said, they're supposed to be colored. But I get angry with him because there are so many everywhere. And I'm like, keep them all in a binder or journal. Don't just use these loosely sheets of paper and staple it. So my oldest son has took him 3 times, I think, the staples to get them bounded together. And
Hmm.
the first book that he did back in K5, his K5 teacher read it, and some of the teachers on the hall read it, and they decided to get it bound and put it in the school library.
Wow.
Your kids can check it out. Don't ask me what the name of it is. I have no clue. But the librarian called me she emailed me last year, and she like, Jamal didn't autograph the book to the school. I was like, really? She like,
What?
yeah. The kids have been checking it out, and I told them that he was a K5. He was K5. He went K5 here. So I was like, that's something big, even though he's going to third grade this year. But that's what he did in K5. And then this past year, well, no, first grade, I changed the school, and he was reading. They had like Arthur Day or something. And
Yes.
he got up, he read to the class. And then the principal came in and got hyped up about it. He was like, well, can't Jamal just do a story time with the whole school?
Wow.
And I'm like, like read a book or read his own book that he wrote. So he
Right.
wrote his own book, and he got to read it
Wow.
school last year. So I thought that was kind of great. And then my brother, he think he dab into some writing. And he decided him and Jamal gonna write one together as an uncle and a nephew. And it's called like Jamal and Van, because Jamal goes by his middle name, and my brother's name is Vanoy. So they named it Vanoy and the Adventures of Van and Jamal.
Wow.
And what they're gonna do is like every chapter, like my brother gonna do chapter 1, Jamal do chapter 2, my brother do chapter 3. Like they're doing it like that, and they're doing 5 chapters apiece. And I thought that was just so neat. And then my brother can draw. And Jamal, this year, his 2nd grade, he just won a week ago Art Student of the Year.
Wow.
So I'm like, you could be a writer or an illustrator. And
both.
That's what Mr. Motts told me. I think you can. You can dab into both of them.
Yes.
That you want to get into that, I'll get you into that. But every day he's changing his careers or what he want to be. But I was like, I try to keep a book in front of him at all times.
Wow.
And it's amazing. That's why I was like, what children's books? Because any children's book somebody writing, I try to get it for Jamal and let him read it. But that's amazing. Amazing. Okay.
It is amazing.
So I have one more question and then we're going to play a game.
Okay.
Can you tell the readers how to get in touch with you and how to get your books and show your book?
Well, sure. My book is available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you could also get it via my website, which is my name, ArnaldoLopezJr.com. And they could also find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page that has links to my website and explains about my writing and everything. So, and I really, really look forward to hearing from my readers or potential readers, and I also love speaking at book clubs. So, you know, I just love contacting or being contacted by persons that enjoy my book or may potentially enjoy my book.
Okay. Well, I have one more question because I just thought about that. Have you ever thought about collabing?
Actually, in a way, let me put it this way: I started collaborating with my son on a fantasy novel, and we're about halfway through. But life takes you in different directions and stuff. So we never finished it. It's halfway done, and I'm sure that once we're able to reconnect again, we'll work on finishing it. But yeah, I'm collaborating with my son on a book, on and off.
Is there any author that you would love to collaborate with?
Heck yes. Okay, I would love to collaborate with Stephen King, Dean Koontz. Wow, there's so many. James Patterson. Even some individual authors that I'm friends with, like Manuel Melendez, Teresa Varela. I love creativity. I love talent. If I could collaborate with someone on something that they're working on or that I'm working on, I would love it.
Okay. All right, let's play a little game. You want to play the game?
Yeah, sure. I'm ready.
It's called My Favorites.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite restaurant.
Oh wow, my favorite restaurant. My favorite restaurant. Oh my gosh. My favorite restaurant is. You know what? I eat so much and I eat so many places. Let's see. There's a restaurant in Washington Heights that I used to go to all the time, and that is my favorite restaurant. And unfortunately, I cannot remember the name. I'm having a senior moment.
Okay. Favorite color?
Black.
Cologne?
My favorite cologne is Axe Apollo.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Scripture?
My favorite scripture is, and I just, you know what? And I just told my wife this yesterday. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Well, you know what? I'm going to cheat and just say John 3:14, but I can't remember my actual favorite scripture right now.
Okay. And the last favorite is favorite hobby as a child.
Wow, my favorite hobby as a child was taking care of animals. Like I said, I wanted to be a veterinarian, and I had all kinds of lizards and birds and turtles and frogs and snakes and all those kinds of things in my house. And my parents were very, very patient and understanding. But that was my favorite hobby as a child, taking care of all kinds of creatures.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to add before we end or say?
Well, I'd like to add that I'm really appreciative of the fact that you you agreed to interview me for this piece. I thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
And oh, thank you. And I would also like to add that I love writing. I'm going to be doing a lot more writing in the near future, and I hope to see more and more people enjoy my writing. They can go to my website and read some of my short stories that are on my website, and that's pretty much about it. I hope to hear from more people in the future, and I hope to engage with as many people as possible.
Okay, hold your book up one more time so they can see
Yes,
they'll
ma'am.
know what it is and everything. Cause all
There
right,
we go.
you see it, ChickenHawk.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for doing this, taking
Oh, it's my pleasure.
time. Thank you for your craft. I really appreciate this, doing this
Thank
for me. And again, this is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews. Happy reading. Have a blessed day.
you. Do the same.